Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is the 1st of May 2020, Labor Day. Happy Labor Day to all of you at home. It's funny how people do not recognize Labor Day because majority have been working from home, and thus people do not recognize Labor Day whether it's holiday or not. Nonetheless, welcome to Live Real Talk. My name is Faisal Kassim, and tonight we shall be talking about the coronavirus awareness. The government has gone out guns blazing. Different organizations, individuals have also supplemented government's efforts in trying to combat this pandemic. But the question is, have we brought this home yet? As it is, we are standing at 396 confirmed cases, 144 recoveries, and unfortunate 17 who have succumbed to it. This is as of 30th April 2020. So this afternoon we shall be focusing on awareness and how well do people know about this virus. Can you try and dispel some rumors from the facts, some misconceptions from the actual facts? And joining me in studio to discuss about this, I'm having Malasset Hamida, who is a community leader from Kibra constituency, and Dr. Yubrina Mora. Good afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon.
Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Karibuni sana. And we will be looking more into that. But just to prove the point that maybe we have not brought yet this home, let's watch this. Yesterday we were in Kibra constituency some late afternoon, and this is what we managed to find.
Hii corona hata sisi tukijaribu kufuatilia sana kujua mambo na corona hatujui sababu jina corona mara COVID-19. Sasa jambo lilitokea tu wakaanza kushindana huko, mara Amerika mara China, sasa ikakuja kufika Kenya ni corona. Sasa corona yenyewe ikawa kwamba sisi tujichunge na corona na mask kwa mdomo na tunawe mikono, lakini ukweli ya hii maneno hakika sisi hata wanavijiji tunaona tunatembea tu, sisi tunatembea mara weka distance, mara fanya hivi. Sasa nikiweka distance na wewe na bibi yangu kwa nyumba tunaweka naye distance namna gani? Sasa hiyo mambo hata sisi tunachanganyikiwa na mambo ya government vile chinzi inatuweka. Tafadhali mtu akikonjeka, hata wakati ukimwi ilikuja duniani hii ama wakati Ebola ilikuja, ulikuwa unaonyeshwa kwamba hata kipindupindu ikiua watu unaonyeshwa hawa ndio wamekufa na kipindupindu, unaona vile inaeleweka. Lakini unasikia kwamba mtu amepata na corona ndio huyo ametupwa kwa kaburi, na kaburi yenyewe hata mtu mwenyewe atujaoneshwa amekuaje na amekuwa mgonjwa namna gani, vipimo zake zimekuwa namna gani. Mtu vitu bado vipimo zake bado ziko Kemri. Pale Kemri unasikia mtu ameenda kuzikwa hata maripoti haijatoka. So sisi hapa sisi bado tunasema sisi wananchi mambo na corona sisi hatuaminiki na hiyo mambo. Hatuamini vile chinzi tunaeleza sababu hakuna hata mtu hata mmoja. Sisi tumewahi kuoneshwa katika hata hapa Mbakazi ya kwamba hawa ndio watu wako na nini na corona. Kwa nini wanaficha? Si waweke hao watu hadharani. Watu wajulikane kwamba wajue kwamba hawa ndio wako na corona. Lakini ukikohoa kidogo unakuja kubebwa kwa nyumba. Ukisema ukienda hospitali usikie ni kwamba unasikia joto kidogo uko na corona. 11 days ama 21 days sijui quarantine. Sasa sisi msimamo wa wananchi tumeanza kuwa na wasiwasi sababu hata hospitali siwezi enda. Nikienda nipatikane niko joto iko juu kidogo naenda 21 days quarantine. Sasa hiyo mambo imetuweka sisi tumeokopa, hatuoni kwamba tukakatia uwaki wa magonjwa.
Interesting. Dr. Mora, I'm going to start with you. This is a resident from Kibra constituency who actually still believes that coronavirus is not real. And you clearly heard from how he was speaking in anger and disappointment. What do you have to say about that?
I'm very saddened because I also, besides just feeling sad for the gentleman who was just talking, I feel sad as a health worker or a health practitioner in this country if we still have Kenyans who don't understand COVID and don't appreciate that the disease is here with us. But again, I will not judge the gentleman because I think he's speaking from a point of ignorance. And I think maybe we've had a problem on how we are communicating to the Kenyan populace and our colleagues in different sectors and different status in the society. We should be able to communicate better and explain better, because you see he's raising very valid concerns that he does not understand how someone who died from symptoms that could have been the COVID was buried hurriedly without results coming out. But here is a situation where the government cannot take chances of someone who had the possibility of the COVID, and even how the funeral is arranged and how it's conducted. But again, the society needs to know those facts, so we need to communicate better. He also highlighted the fact that he doesn't understand why patients are not coming out. He's not seeing the patients or the people who've contracted the virus. So to him, it's not real. It makes a lot of sense from where he stands. But maybe then we need to be able to communicate better to the society, to also understand that we can't parade all patients unless they are willing to, because there's patient confidentiality that we have to ensure. So I think here we are dealing with a situation where we are not communicating to each other.
Interesting. Thank you so much. Malasan Hamida, you being a community leader, and Kibra constituency is among the contributors to the 396 confirmed cases so far in Kibra. So what do you have to say regarding the rate of sensitization in the particular constituency?
Okay, what I'll say is that sensitization on a national platform has been ongoing. But according to what I've just heard the Kibra resident counterparts talk about, it's like the sensitization is just on a global theory, and on a national platform, it means it has not been domesticated properly. That means the messaging is still not actually sunk in well to the local communities, because they just feel, okay, previously there have been different diseases of different kinds, and people have been seen, people suffering from cholera, they're talking about HIV, they're talking about different issues. It means, okay, the government has to do something also, because we are Kenyans, we are Africans, since seeing is believing actually. That is how our people are. So if it has to go to that level, the patients have to be, okay, just been shown, not practically actually being talked to or something. The hospital, for instance, in Bagadi, the wards that we have patients, it just has to be pictured to some extent, not going specifically to the patients, but the people need to see.
You said the government has to do something. What exactly do you mean by that thing that the government has to do that you think might maybe change the perception of coronavirus in that particular area? Okay,
the messaging actually. The messaging has to go down, trickle down to even the community radios. We've just had in the mainstream radios, or mainstream media, basically, and those who have access to social media, those are the people who actually get access to the information. It means the information still has not trickled down in the right way. Okay. To some extent, what I will say, in line with what the government should do more, it's like even go out in campaigns, maybe the media, the roadshow, for example, to the people in the local grounds, and also mobilize the local media to actually talk about the COVID-19.
Okay. Thanks so much. 21951 is SMS line in case you have a question or anything or any concern regarding coronavirus for as far as awareness is concerned. Please, you can reach us to 21951 is our SMS line. And if my producer can play that clip once again, just without the voice clip. Dr. Mora, I want you to pay key attention to what's happening on the background of where that man is speaking. At the background,
corona.
See, there is a pickup at the back. If you just kill the voice, my producer, Dr. Mora, if you can see the background, there are people who are purchasing mboga, you know, like typical Kenyans. No social distancing. At least all of them have masks, but social distancing is one of the things that the government is really advocating for. It's something that's not being adhered to. Dr. Why would this still be the case? Is it that the message is not yet down there for as far as the risk of contracting the virus is concerned? Just look at how people are still standing next to each other without face masks, holding the masks on their hand, and you know, everything is just casual. Daktari, what do you have to say about that?
Thank you for that keen note of that clip and how Kenyans are interacting closely and not still observing social distancing. But I think from what I'd like to just build up before I can answer that question is, one, we need to, we have to come out and educate our society about COVID, and we need to educate them in the language that they understand best. in an environment that they understand best. But we have to consider the fact that in the limitations of this disease, where we can't interact closely, it poses for us a very difficult situation, which requires us to be very innovative on how we disseminate the information or the education that we need to give the populace. But again, let's remember that we have shunned or frowned upon the COVID such that we are just breeding stigma in our society. So it becomes a big problem on how do we then have people coming out to personalize or to humanize the condition if we have a lot of stigma going on. So right now we have the virus that we have to deal with by educating our society, and we still have the stigma that we need to debunk and to stop from propagating more spreading. Coming back to your question about the way people are interacting. If people don't believe on something, or they don't believe in something, then they likely think that they are doing the measures that have been put into place, they are doing them for government. They are doing them so that they don't get fines. From the clip, we could see the masks are worn incorrectly, they're down at the chin, we are seeing people just next to each other doing their normal business. But again, it boils down to a very fundamental question for Kenyans and for the government and for a lot of institutions in the country that are concerned about employment and all that. What are the social determinants of health? What are these determinants that will inform or will determine how Kenyans behave when they are faced with a health threat of whatever sort? In this case, we are dealing with COVID-19, and it has posed a very big risk, not just in the health sector, but in the economic sector. So if someone employed, do they have food in their house? Are they able to feed their family, to sort out things in their home? Are they able to access medication that they're supposed to be taking? Let's say if they're they have chronic illnesses that they're taking their medication for. That then informs how someone will adhere to, or how someone will respond to a threat that they're told that this threat is bigger than you missing your $3 a day that you earn at your workplace. So I think that's where we need to start thinking from, and that's where the conversation needs to start from, by us acknowledging our challenges as a society, where we have unemployment, we have poverty, we have lack of access to education. From that point then, how do we deal and have tailor-made solutions to the threat that we are facing as a nation in the context of our local problems?
Thank you. Just in line with that, maybe a follow-up question. I love the way you brought up the wholesome angle to this pandemic, the economic angle, the social angle, and the medical angle. So it's what sort of a multifaceted approach? What would be the best approach to use at this point in time, and what should be given priority? Is it the social side, is it the economic side, or is it the medical side? What should be given priority in terms of addressing this pandemic, in your opinion? In my opinion,
I think in handling crisis, we have to acknowledge the immediate threat, the intermediate threat, and the long-term threat. So our immediate threat right now is the COVID, and we know that it is here with us. Though we can see that because of long-term threats, our society is not accepting the actual immediate threat that we face. And maybe we are not highlighting the complications of the virus and what it can do, and what is the eventual fatalities that we can face in different multifaceted sort of approach. Therefore, for me, I think it's a question of what is the immediate threat. The immediate threat is people contracting this disease and us losing a big population of people in the vulnerable society, and even some people who are not in the vulnerable society. Okay. Therefore, what do we do with the large number so that we don't lose this other number that actually for us, this could be your mother, this could be your father, this could be your sister. It's not about saying a few people will die and therefore let's move on with our lives. Losing even one life is a big deal. So I think if we stand from that point, then we say, if we have to have people working from home and not interacting in the markets and ensuring they're observing all the measures, what are the things that can hinder them from observing those measures? And those hindrances is what we need to address. And Kenyans will be able to follow all the regulations that have been put in place, compounding this with us sensitizing them more and creating more awareness.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much. My producer, director, Suleiman Nachesa, maybe you can play us another clip from what we found there in Kibra. You can play us another clip from the respondents, and then let's hear out what he had to say.
Mimi corona najua corona ni ugonjwa mbaya na corona inaua. So kitu inafaa wananchi wafanye ni kukeep social distance, na kuvaa mask, kuosha mkono na kusanitize kwa wingi. Hivyo tu mimi ndo najua kibro. Kitu yenye nilikuwa nataka kujua ama nataka kuona ni Mkenya amekufa na corona ama Mkenya mwenye ako na corona. Kitu kama hiyo mimi sijaiona kama Mkenya wa kawaida. Hata wananchi wengine pia kama mimi Mkenya wa kawaida pia anasema hivyo. Anataka ajue corona iko aje na wenye corona wanakaa aje, ama yani aone tu mwenye corona, mtu mwenye amekufa na corona huku Kenya pia tujue corona iko huku, ndo watu watakuwa na hiyo umuhimu wa kuweka mask na watakuwa na watakaa kwa nyumba, watafuatilia hizi sheria wakijua ni ukweli corona iko na watu wanakufa na corona.
Some grievances, some grievances, and I might be 100% wrong, but if you listen to what he's saying, is basically a repetition of what the Ministry of Health has been saying over the past couple of days in their daily briefs. But I'm informed that we need to take a short break. Remember, we're going to be joined by Mahmoud Noor, Kenya Red Cross Chairman, Mombasa branch. Just immediately after the break, please do not go away because we're taking a short break. Dr. Mora, just hold on your thought there because we're going to answer that question after the break, please. Thank you.
HorizonTV, the beacon for the nation.
Mtu anaweza kujua vipi mja mwema mwisho wake?
Yule ambaye katika hali ya sakaratul maut, roho inapotoka.
Daima kilicho na uhai basi mauti kitaonja lazima.
Yule aliyekufa katika taa, aliyekufa katika khairi, tusema tumtarajia kwa sababu amekufa katika khairi.
Mja zake ni pande mbili, ima uwe mwovu au mwema.
Ama kukata kauli na kusema kwamba huu ni wa peponi, huu ni wa motoni, hiyo si kazi yangu na yako ndugu yangu Muislamu. Hiyo ni kazi ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Maisha yako si sampuli, iko siku pumzi itakuhama.
Mwenyezi Mungu asema primary reason ni ibada.
Kwa ufafanuzi, undani, tizama maisha ya akhira. Sheikh Jamaluddin akiwa naye Muhammad Shakumbo wanakupa uhondo kamili katika Horizon TV. Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
Hello.
Thank you so much for keeping it live. Real talk, asante sana this afternoon. So maybe just play again that clip just to refresh our memory on what the young Muslim brother was saying in Kibra regarding this COVID-19. We asked
corona najua corona ni ugonjwa mbaya na corona inaua. So kitu inafaa wananchi wafanye ni kukeep social distance na kuvaa mask, kuosha mkono na kusanitize kwa wingi. Hivyo tu mimi ndo najua kibro. Kitu yenye nilikuwa nataka kujua ama nataka kuona ni Mkenya amekufa na corona ama Mkenya mwenye ako na corona. Kitu kama hiyo mimi sijaiona kama Mkenya wa kawaida. Hata wananchi wengine pia kama mimi Mkenya wa kawaida pia anasema hivyo. Anataka ajue corona iko aje na wenye corona wanakaa aje, ama yani aone tu mwenye corona, mtu mwenye amekufa na corona huku Kenya pia tujue corona iko huku, ndo watu watakuwa na hiyo umuhimu wa kuweka mask na watakuwa na watakaa kwa nyumba, watafuatilia hizi sheria wakijua ni ukweli corona iko na watu wanakufa na corona.
Faisal True saying is believing, so I do not blame them. That's what she says from Kiswahili, Mombasa. Joining us right now on Skype is Mahmoud Noor from Mombasa. Mahmoud, salamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
I hope you are hearing me well.
Mahmoud Nur, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can get you clearly. That is Mombasa Red Cross Chairman. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks for having me to share my experience during this COVID-19 time.
Thanks so much, and we are so honored to have you. You have been following our program from the time we started, and basically we're talking about sensitization for as far as coronavirus is concerned. Mombasa County comes second after Nairobi with, so far we're looking at exponential growth, particularly in Mombasa compared to the other counties. What do you think might be the reason as to why this virus is fast spreading, especially in Mombasa?
I think in Mombasa there are a number of factors. One, we have a lot of Mombasa residents who are always traveling because if you look at the economy the way it is in Mombasa, we have a lot of expatriates, a lot of people working in Dubai, a lot of people who have families in Europe, a lot of people who have connections and are always traveling. So that will be one. The second one is I think Mombasa have been doing mass testing. I know they've been doing it at KPA. Right now, we are having mass testing at Makadara grounds. In fact, a good number of my volunteers from the Kenya Red Cross are being tested right now. So Mombasa County has ramped up testing. And where you have mass testing, then definitely you expect to see some cases. Because I will give you an example like Burundi, the last time when they were saying they had no cases. And then people were making fun when they were asked why. They said because they have no testing gear. So I think we need to compare these counties based on also the testing capabilities and the number of tests that are being done. But also I need to underline that there are some areas that people have not changed their attitude towards the disease. People are still tied to the cultures of eating together, sharing stuff, not observing social distance, still visiting each other while it is better for now for people to stay in their homes. So there are some things that also it is the people who are negligent and probably it will lead to the spread.
Thanks so much. I just want to loop in Mora, Dr. Yubrina Mora. Still, Mahmoud, just if you just hold on. I'm bringing Dr. on that. Dr. Mahmoud is saying that it's negligence on our side. Is it really negligence, or what exactly can be done better to try and improve the situation?
This is what I would say concerning the fact that a lot of Kenyans are not adhering to the rules that have been put in place. There are many stages of grieving. I think all of us, our lives have changed, our societal norms have changed, our cultures have changed. So right now, I think in the different stages of grieving, a lot of us are in the denial phase, where we are denying that this virus exists. But again, in the previous clip that you played and the gentleman was asking, who are these people who have the COVID? I want to see them. I want to see someone who has died, then I will believe it. That just shows us that a lot of people are in denial. So how do we then humanize the COVID pandemic? How do we put a face to it so that people appreciate that, yes, this virus is here and it's here with us and it's going to take away some of us, and we need to put in measure to protect our most vulnerable in society and some of us whose immunity cannot fight it. So I think that's where we come from, and I wouldn't use the word negligence. I would say it's denial, and we need to do something about it to make sure that we bring more people on board and the larger society on board so that we can together try and minimize casualties as much as we can.
Thanks so much. Mahmoud Nur, your organization, the Kenya Red Cross Society, the Kenya Red Cross Society, and you being under your leadership in Mombasa, you have been doing an amazing job since the breakout of this pandemic, especially at the Kenya Ferry, actually doing sensitization. You recruited volunteers, a number of them, and at the Kenya Ferry, your efforts were instrumental and were visible all over. But again, after the distribution of food, an effort that's spearheaded by the county, we are getting a feeling that it has taken over precedence and priority over sensitization. Is this really the case down there in Mombasa?
I think as the Kenya Red Cross, we are involved in a number of activities, most of them in partnership with the national, county government, and private sector. And it's good to let the viewers know that why Mombasa is different in its approach is because it is spearheaded by the private sector. The governor has successfully pulled the different stakeholders together. So yes, we've been involved at the ferry. In fact, for the ferry, we look at it as one of the most vulnerable areas in the country. I don't think whether there is another place where you have 350,000 people passing every day. So that is the traffic that we have there. So we started at the Kenya Ferry. We've been doing sensitization as the Kenya Red Cross together with the Public Health Department of the Mombasa County in markets and in different centers together with even women groups that have joined us. And now we have even a bigger issue, which is food distribution. And yes, there is a perception that probably that has taken most of our time, and because of the logistics involved and the demand, actually the need that is out there. Our intention is to feed 227,000 households. As we speak, I'm at Mrima Primary School. I've been here since 6 in the morning. Our intention was to give 3,000 households all over Timbwani today. Unfortunately, when you want to serve 1,000 people, 5,000 people turn up. And I think that is the challenge. And why food distribution has been now on the forefront, because even when you look at some of the Kenyans, they tell you, and I think it's because of ignorance, they tell you, I will die of hunger before corona kills me. So it's like whenever there is a discussion on food, then because of the dire situation that a lot of our populations are in, now all the energy, and even when you open FM stations, everybody is talking about the food distribution. But I think for us, we are also using it as an opportunity. Because now even right now, when we have thousands of people out here, we are reminding them about social distances. We are telling them you must have a mask so that we let you in. So we are also using it as an opportunity, although they came in for the food, but we also, by the time they live here, they are getting certain messages. Yes, there are challenges, because when they are out there before they come in, some of them are in queues that they are close to one another. But I think for us and the security officers, we are trying to sensitize them as much as possible.
Thank you so much. Malasan Hamida, is this the same case in Kibra? In what Mahmoud Noor clearly said, that some people would feel that he'd rather die of corona than to die of hunger, so he would clearly ignore, for lack of a better word in this case, the message and the recommendations from the Minister of Health to work from and all that, and go outside there to look for something to feed the family. Is this the same case that we're experiencing in Kibra?
Absolutely. Actually, we are facing the same case in all the informal settlements, Kibra alike. What I'll just say is that we've missed out. There's a window that the government actually missed out on sensitization, because currently, at the beginning of COVID, there was a lot of fear and anxiety on matters, economical factors, rather than the disease itself. So the people were just feeling, okay, there is COVID. I've not seen who has died of COVID. I don't know who has been infected with COVID. But what I know, if at all there's going to be a lockdown, it means that I will not get food. I will not be able to go work. I will not be able to do whatever I usually do. Even in the evening, we have watchmen, to the sense whereby there is that feeling that I need food more than even the information on COVID, because currently the government has just been stuck with the COVID issue, sensitization of COVID, rather than getting into the nitty-gritties of other infections. For instance, in Kibra and informal settlements, we have people who are HIV, they are living positive, HIV patients who are using ARVs, they need food. So their issue is this: I cannot miss food because by the end of the day, I'm on other drugs. We have people with hypertension, we have diabetics, We have youths who are actually using drugs, and definitely their immune system is compromised by the end of the day. So if at all the infection will actually get them, it means it is fatal. So by the end of the day, I just believe it is just the messaging that has just been broken down. It has to be broken down to the level we domesticated to the people within the community. Because actually you feel within the normal messaging, whenever somebody is sneezing, somebody has to sneeze on the elbow. And by the end of the day, it's the same elbow that the people have to use it actually to greet each other, rather than using the hands. So chances of actually infection is getting stronger and stronger by the day.
On the same breath, you keep on saying that we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do this. From the Kenya Red Cross, we've heard that they're trying to sensitize the community to their best, to their level best, as they're giving food and all that. So you as leaders in Kibra, what assertive approach are you using maybe to sensitize the community more about this coronavirus, even as they are coming out to fend for their daily bread? Okay,
we've done a lot. We've tried our level best to actually sensitize the community. We've networked. For instance, Mazingira Women and myself, we've networked with the government, for instance, the DCC, during issuance of sanitizers and within the informal settlements in all wards. We've gone to the level where we are making masks, and we've distributed masks and sold masks at the same breath. And there's a lot of sensitization we've done within the community. We've networked with Kibra Green, which has got a tent within next to the stage, whereby everybody goes wash hands and just washing hands basically, and actually getting the information on COVID. But by the end of the day, there is that issue that whenever I say we, it means it is a collective responsibility. It is a collective responsibility. Coming from a civil society breath, I will say that previously, in different aspects of community, whenever there was something that needed sensitization, civil society organization took up the strength. For instance, civic education, they did civic education, they did a lot, but currently most of the civil society groups are working from home. So that vigorous sensitization from the civil society is not seen. And these are the organizations which actually supplement the role of communication and giving messages and sensitizing the communities on different issues. But all in all, I would say that different groups, different individuals have tried to step up to see how best the community will understand. But I will concur and underpin what the chairman in Mombasa said. The attitude is one thing. There is negative attitude towards the issue of coronavirus, in the sense that hata hiyo corona, it's like hiyo corona hakuna, ni story tu kwa media, hatujawahi iona mtu. And what I would say, Daktari, it's not about denial, because grief and denial will come in if you've seen somebody actually. It has been a song, yes, lakini they still don't believe that the disease is with us. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Daktari, there are a lot of myths and misconceptions regarding this coronavirus. I'm sure you've had a number of them. You're just telling me about drinking black tea earlier on. There is taking ginger and lemon, it cures coronavirus. There is another one, what do you call it, transmission through flies. Okay, a lot of myths and misconceptions regarding this coronavirus. And Mahmoud Noor, just please hold on there, because we will need to know as well what are some of the myths and misconceptions regarding this coronavirus. And we have Dr. Yubrina Mora here to dispel some of these rumors and give us the right facts. Please do not go away, because we're going on a very short break.
HorizonTV, the beacon for the nation.
Mtu anaweza kujua vipi mja mwema mwisho wake.
Yule ambaye katika hali ya sakaratul maut, roho inapotoka,
daima kilicho na uhai basi mauti kitaonja lazima.
Yule aliyekufa katika taa, aliyekufa katika khairi, tusema tumtarajia kwa sababu amekufa katika khairi.
Mja zake ni pande mbili, ima uwe mwovu au mwema.
Ama kukata kauli na kusema kwamba huu ni wa peponi, huu ni wa motoni, hiyo si kazi yangu na yako ndugu yangu Muislamu, hiyo ni kazi ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Maisha yako si sampuli, iko siku pumzi itakuhama.
Mwenyezi Mungu asema primary reason ni ibada.
Kwa ufafanuzi, undani, tizama maisha ya akhira. Sheikh Jamaluddin akiwa naye Muhammad Shakumbo wanakupa uhondo kamili katika Horizon TV. Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
Kwa nini hao watu wanapona na kuna dawa? Na nasikia corona iko. Kitu yenye tungependa kujua kutoka kwa daktari, tunataka kujua corona, mtu akienda hapo wanamweka aje ndio atoke apone.
Dr. Mora, before you answer that question, I'd like to loop in Mr. Mahmoud Noor from Mombasa. What are some of the rumors going on and myths or misconceptions regarding this COVID-19 down there in Mombasa? Mahmoud? Mahmoud? I think we're having issues stressing. Dr. Maybe you can just start with that. This is a question that we received from more than one viewer. Who are asking that this virus, you say that the virus is existing and there is no cure. Mr. Mahmoud is back. Mr. Mahmoud, welcome back. We're just asking you, what are some of the rumors or myths and misconceptions down there in Mombasa regarding this coronavirus?
I think for us, the biggest challenge here, with a global world, I think, because nowadays the world, they call it a global village. So with WhatsApp, we have people in foreign lands who are sending all these myths about China and the US. So, and these are shared coming down even to the villages here. Mm-hmm. So for us, I don't think whether the biggest challenge is the rumors here in Mombasa, but it is the culture. I think as long as we change the culture, the way we behave, the way we interact, I think for us that will be the biggest challenge. And then for other people, having that notion of, I will say, not understanding religion well. Because somebody will tell you, Allah will protect us. So even I can do whatever I want to do, but as long as Allah has not written somewhere that I will get sick of corona, to me those are the bigger problems, because we have people who are still insisting on doing certain things, regardless of the advice that have been given by the health experts. And their main excuse is that God will protect them, and God has always been protecting them. So for me, those are some people who are really not understanding religion, who are giving us even a bigger challenge than the rumors that are going around.
Thanks so much. Dr. Mora, now if we just integrate those two, one, the culture that Mr. Mahmoud Noor is talking about in Mombasa, I don't know whether you're going to call it ignorance in this case, and secondly, about the cure of this coronavirus. Dr.
Okay, I think as we are addressing the common myths about coronavirus, I'll start from the point where the COVID-19, the biggest myth of COVID-19 in a lot of our living rooms is that it does not exist. That is where we begin from. That's already a myth, that COVID does not exist, or it only affects some people who, from a religious point of view, would say people who God has just chosen for them to get it because one way or the other they've sinned, or some vulnerable groups. So someone would say, if I don't have diabetes, I don't have high blood pressure, I don't have heart disease, I don't have any immunity associated illness, then I won't have COVID. In that regard, this is what I'd like to say before I answer your question. COVID does not choose. In Swahili, COVID haibagui na haichagui. So it can take anyone, it can be infected in anyone. And a lot of people are asking about the faces, who has COVID. COVID is actually likely being transmitted with someone in front of you, who is Dr. Mora, who you normally associate with, and that is a person with COVID, and they're moving it from one person to the next. It has taken the shapes of our faces and the shapes of our bodies and the shapes of our loved ones every single day. So coming to your question about the healing and the fact that what happens when they don't get any medication, let's remember COVID-19 is a virus. A lot of the viruses we have don't have drugs that actually heal them, starting with HIV. HIV is a virus that we give medication to contain it. We don't cure it. So just the same, in the same regard, COVID is a virus that because it is a novel, meaning it's a new virus, we don't really have treatment. We have a lot of experimental drugs that could actually halt its replication in the human body, but not treat it. So we allow the body, our own immunity, to fight this virus. And that's why we say anyone with immunity that is compromised will have problems eliminating the virus from the body. And that's why you're seeing some people testing positive, being in hospital. We allow the body to fight the virus. We support these patients with whatever they need. If the fever is high, we control the fever. If they are dehydrated, we control that. But we allow the body, or we support the body to fight the virus.
Thank you so much. You did address Mr. Mahmoud's concern, what he said, he termed as the culture in Mombasa and the religious or the spiritual aspect that comes in when someone says that, you know what, Allah has always protected us, so Allah will always protect us, and He will continue to protect us. Would you mind to put in some few words on that, please?
So Allah will protect me and you if we also try to protect ourselves. The thing is, from a religious point of view, we tend to have every explanation getting a religious reason for it. But let's say God is helping us through this. He is helping us to be strong, to actually observe the measures that have been put in place. That is why He blessed us with science and the knowledge of science, so that we can be able to understand some of these things or some of the obstacles we face as we live through our religious lives. So we have to heed by the guidelines given, because Allah, and whichever God you believe in, is the one who supports you to actually understand and have scientists who are able to give us the right advice. And talking about from a cultural point of view, look, having grown up at the coast myself, I know how the cultural interaction is in the coastal part of Kenya, where we are very touchy people. We want to shake our hands, we want to hug each other, we want to eat together, we want to interact very closely. We are very loving people down from the coast. And I'm not saying that other Kenyans are not, but I'm just saying the cultural environment is what has defined us for a long time. But unfortunately, something has come that requires us to have a pause to our cultural norms just for the sake of protecting the person next to you. And I think that's a big, enormous religious responsibility that every Kenyan faces.
Thank you so much. Mr. Mahmoud, before I let you go, so for as far as sensitization and awareness is concerned in Mombasa, what has been your major setback and how are you planning to deal with that?
I think on the sensitization, to me, I would say it is actually a success, because we measure it by seeing if people are adhering to certain messages that you've been giving them. Nowadays, when I walk, even here as I sit, 99% of the people who are passing here have masks. So, and earlier, you will find somebody only putting a mask when he approaches the police, or when we are at the ferry, they will put on a mask when they come nearer to the ferry. But most of the time, they will never put on the mask. So I think more people are putting on masks. More people are observing social distance, although we have a couple who still don't believe in this. So I think the sensitization is having some results. And we also see it whenever we have certain sessions by the questions that are asked by the local people, the Monanchi down there. Because they ask certain pertinent questions, They look ignorant, but they ask because they say they want to learn so that they can go and practice it at home. So for me, I will say the sensitization has worked, whether it is on TV or the people who are moving around. But probably the best one is when we have more cases coming at home, when people are seeing their loved ones moving out. I've seen even in some quarantine areas, like 2 weeks ago, sometimes 2 weeks ago, we had some of our volunteers who are quarantined somewhere. And then the community there went and they were telling the hotel, why are you putting corona patients in our neighborhood? Immediately that day, because we feared the worst from happening, we went, sat down with around 50 community youth leaders, and we discussed with them on what exactly quarantine means. So, and immediately after that, things were different. So for me, this sensitization is working. We need to put more efforts into it. And definitely, as also people see real cases that are happening, it's not a good way of experiencing it. But when they see people in Shomoroni, in Old Town, in Sentikumi, in Dikoni, now that one brings the message home closer, and they're starting to become serious and more cautious with the disease.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Malasan, what from your end, Kibra, we've had some of the respondents. Exactly, we were in Kibra yesterday afternoon, speaking to some of those residents. What are some of the rumors that you have personally had regarding this coronavirus? We have Dr. Yubrina Mora here to answer some of those questions.
Okay, the rumors are so many that first, the disease does not exist. Another rumor is actually government is looking for funds. Another rumor is that, okay, when you take garlic, you take lemon, it will boost your immune system. And by the end of the day, when there will be corona around, you'll not get corona. And there's also another misconception, I would say it's misconception in line with the religious teachings and aspect. There is that issue whereby, okay, it's qadar. If at all I will get the disease, it is by the will of God, and I will not do anything. So anybody who will get infected and die of COVID, it is qadar. But I would like to tell my brothers and sisters who are Muslims that actually, if you take precautionary measures and keep yourself safe and then contract the disease, it means that is qadar. But if at all we are not going to abide by the rules and regulation and then die of COVID, that is suicide. For me, I will just term it as suicide, because actually, according to the religion, we've been told to actually tie our camel and then pray. That has been taught. And then we've been taught also to respect our leader, respect the leadership. That one has to be taken in as seriously as possible in religious aspect, because the leadership, the government is our leadership. They will not talk about something that does not exist. So it's like another rumor is that, okay, nobody has died of COVID in Kibra, and in fact, we've heard of a story, 2 people have been infected with COVID, and they are not as sick as such. It is still the grapevine. Yeah? They are sick, yes, but people actually still don't believe that they're sick. They've been taken to isolation, and being in isolation doesn't mean you're sick. So those are some of the myths and misconceptions that our people still have it. I just term it as ignorance and lack of
Dr. Mora, thank you so much, Malasa. Dr. Mora, very quickly, there is one regarding the hot temperature, that the virus cannot survive in hot temperature, and that's what some people from Mombasa actually do believe in, and that's why they feel that they are safe. What do you have to say about that a bit quickly?
In the context of hot temperature, I'm wondering, is it hot temperature in the body or hot temperature out in the sun, or hot temperature just the weather? So we know that the truth is, the truth is, when you, let's say you're using your face mask, and you wash it and put it in the sun for a minimum of 5 hours and dries up, the virus is able to, it becomes clean. The mask is clean. And the virus is able to be killed by that prolonged exposure to the sun. But what I want Kenyans to understand is your body's temperature is controlled by your brain. And the temperature does not go beyond 37.2 as a normal temperature. So if the temperature does not even get to the temperatures that the sun does out there as it's drying the face masks, the cloth homemade face mask that you are using, then how will it then kill a virus that is already in your body in a controlled environment? And people are saying that just the hot temperature means it will be killed in me because there is the sun. So let's move away from saying that, yes, high temperatures, from the sun and the rays, actually it's the ultraviolet rays from the sun are able to destroy the virus, but temperatures do not per se protect you from the virus. We have seen, and this myth started way back before this virus got to us here in Africa, and the virus is here. So that's enough evidence to actually, for us to debunk that myth and realize that the virus is here. What I need to do is observe social distancing, respiratory etiquette, wash my hands, and ensure that my family is aware, and the people who are not as exposed or as educated as the rest of the family member are able to be educated by the ones that can comprehend what this pandemic means and what it means to every Kenyan.
Thank you so much. Mr. Mahmoud Noor, I'm just going to come to you for a parting shot because we are wrapping up our show this afternoon.
I think for me, it's a message to Kenyans. Let's stay safe. Let's follow the guidelines that have been given. And if you don't want to do it for yourself, then at least do it for the people that you love. Because if you are careless out there, you will go and infect your mother, you will infect your wife, you will infect your children. So let us follow these regulations for the sake of our people, if at all we don't care about ourselves. But I believe Kenyans are hitting the cold slowly.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Mahmoud Noor. Thanks so much. And I think we're going to release you for you to continue with the good job that you're doing down there in Mombasa. May Allah bless you. May Allah bless you always. Malas and Hamidi, I'm going to come to you as well for your parting shot as you're wrapping up the program this afternoon.
I will urge our people to take precautionary measures and stay home, stay safe, stay positive, and just realize that COVID is real. It is with us. We are the ones to fight it. We are the ones to actually give that right information to the people who don't know. It is our responsibility to take care of ourselves for the sake of our people. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Dr. Mora, your parting shot this afternoon?
My parting shot would be to all Kenyans. COVID is real. COVID is here with us. Let's support the government and your health workers to actually fight and keep you safe. And in the meantime, stay safe, observe all the regulations, and let's all together fight COVID-19.
Thanks so much. And as we are wrapping up the show this afternoon, I'm going to finish with a quote that's very famous, and allow me to say this in Swahili. This is a quote that's quite popular, especially in my producer's background, the Western Kenya. Wasema hakuna mkate mgumu mbele ya chai. Mkate hata uwe mgumu vipi, kwa chai lazima itatii amri. So this corona is just but a passing dark cloud. So as we are wrapping up the show, we're going to look at some of the images of what people are doing in different parts of the world for as far as sensitizing the community regarding this COVID-19 is concerned. There are paintings, there are artworks. In India, we didn't have time to play that clip, but I'm just going to tell you the story basically. In India, there is a group of policemen that they have an ambulance by the roadside. So what they do is when people are not adhering to working from home and people are not adhering to the curfew and the lockdown, they arrest people and take them inside the ambulance where it's assumed that the patient inside the ambulance is coronavirus positive. So they are forcing people to get inside the ambulance and they're locking them up with that positive, quote unquote, positive patient of coronavirus. And you should have seen that clip. Because of time, we're going to play it next time. Thank you so much for making time this afternoon. Thanks so much, Mahmoud Noor. Thanks so much, Malas and Hamida. Thanks so much, Dr. Yubrina Mora, for making time this afternoon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone.